Hello Taurus, Happy New Year. Welcome to your January 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. Thank you for all your likes and subscriptions and your support over the last year. It's incredibly appreciated, and I'm hoping we get some positive messages for you this month, Taurus. It goes without saying that astrologically it's very positive. Solar eclipse in fellow Earth sign Capricorn, Mercury going into this sign as well, and Venus in the 8th. That's actually a good thing. That is heightening your financial responsibilities. If you work with other people's money, you may find that you're going to be incredibly benefited this month. If you are interested in your joint assets, etc., there's good things coming up there too, especially in partnerships, right? So we also have a lunar eclipse in Leo on the 21st of January. So as this is also fixed energy, the eclipse is really going to shake up the fixed signs, especially those that are stubborn. And I don't want to point fingers or name names, Taurus, but you guys are usually the first people that pop to mind when I'm thinking of stubborn. As a Scorpio, I'm really not meant to cast any judgments. I'm not. But there are certain habits that you can get into. And stubborn sounds like a negative word. I actually think it's more tenacious. It's more direct. It's directing your energy. So when you get a focus and you stick to it, you guys are some of the best manifestors, because when you get an idea, you have the willpower to stick it through. So stubborn, yes, but that's also a good thing. Although this eclipse is going to shake up certain areas in ways that you may or may not sort of, expect, if you get me. This is also home and family energy. So I'm expecting to see in the cards possibly the World card as being significant, because I feel like there's going to be something that's been eclipsed out, like a phase. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just getting a bit lost in thought here, Taurus. I think there's actually going to be quite a bit of major arcana going on here. We have had similar cards for everybody, but I think for you guys it might be a bit different. I feel like this is a bit deeper. Fourth house means this goes back a long way. So it can be the sort of things that you could be stuck with the whole life as you're a fixed sign. But because of this eclipse in particular, Taurus, I'm seeing for you a very significant change. And Mars and Uranus are going to be in Aries all month, and Mars in Aries is very comfortable, but for you it can redirect your motivations from what they should be. So your motivations may be questionable in some circumstances, questionable even to you, because I don't know that you will be 100% certain of why you're doing certain things or acting certain ways. I feel a little bit like you could be feeling very differently day to day about what you did the day before. I know that sounds very complicated, and that sounds a bit confusing. But when Aries is put into the equation, Taurus, it can sometimes unnerve you. Queen of Swords, crossed by Strength. Okay. Yep, you're not entirely certain of your motivations. Now, it goes without saying that Strength represents Leo. And it also goes without saying that this most likely represents the full moon, the lunar eclipse. Now, the issue here with the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is the queen that I connect the least to. I mean, she's very direct. She's very to the point. She's very sharp. You know those people in your life that have no filter and can say things, and you know that they're not concerned about what it makes you feel. It's more to do with them telling their version of the truth, and to them their version of the truth is the truth, and the truth is absolute. The truth is not fixed. So this person's words may get to you somewhat, but please bear in mind, it is not their truth, it is their perspective. This person does not know it all, okay? So if you're dealing with someone who is, for want of a better word, stubborn, as we discussed earlier, the similarities with a difference of lack of emotion on their behalf is not to be taken too seriously. And she wouldn't like me saying that. The Queen of Swords is someone who wants you to take them seriously. But what you actually have to do is recognize that this person is coming from a place of hurt and you need to be compassionate. This can be your inner critic, okay? Or as they say in Pinocchio, your inner cricket. And I think with the Strength card, there is sort of an indication that one person is emotionally stronger than the other. And I think, Taurus, it's you that's the stronger one. I feel like this Queen of Swords person, could be an air sign, could be Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. They're the beast. And you are the woman with the infinity sign. You have an infinite supply of love and compassion. Don't let this person wound you when they're coming from a place of hurt. 7 of Cups, 6 of Cups, that's an interesting twist. Knight of Pentacles, it's you. Could be another earth sign, of course. What's coming in? Page of Swords. This little guy has shown up for just about everybody. So I'm wondering, Magician, Judgment, 4 of Wands, there's that family card. And the 3 of Swords, Taurus. Okay. So there's something we need to heal. King of Pentacles is underneath. Sorry if I'm sniffing a little bit, Taurus. I've had an ongoing cold and I don't know if it's ever going to go away. Now, I think one thing we must know is that the 3 of Swords as an outcome does not necessarily mean that you're destined this month to have your heart broken. As I say, I'm not entirely certain of fixed outcomes. As I say, the truth is not fixed. We lead ourselves in different destinations, we make different choices. And you would find that a choice is like the butterfly effect. One choice you make in a day can change the reading and completely the next. Now, the key here, the key, if you're dealing with a relationship where the other person's words are getting to you significantly, you have a choice to make. And I think because this Capricorn energy for you, Taurus, is hitting you right in the romantic kicker. It's hitting you right in the heart. Solar eclipse, you may realize for some of you that your emotional habits, your relationship choices have been subpar. That's okay, we can fix that. If you're completely single, this eclipse is a brilliant place to make a change in your romantic life. Now, there is a lot of questions about compatibility in astrology, and sometimes Taurus can come up with, air and fire, and people will say, no, that's not a good mix. Taurus doesn't mix with these people, Taurus doesn't mix with those. You guys all have very different moons to each other. Bear that in mind. Your moon sign makes a big difference. So does your rising. But for me, this more represents picking incompatible partners based on the way they feed into your stubbornness. Once you get yourself into a pattern, Taurus, it's very hard to get out. And with a solar eclipse, you get that sort of momentum to break a habit. So have you been picking people because they seem somewhat exciting, even though your nature craves stability? Have you been picking people that are quite flighty because you enjoyed their witty banter, and then a few dates in you realize they're not actually relationship material, but you want to make them so because you are stuck in the pattern? There's a pattern here that will be broken with the solar eclipse. It can promise you that judgment means listening to your inner calling. It's a revival, it's a rebirth. And with the Magician, you're going to get more of what you're trying to manifest. You have all the right tools, but there is a pattern. I see the infinity sign in the Strength, and I see the infinity sign in the Magician. And something for infinity is good if it's a good thing. But do you want to keep manifesting the same people that are illusionary, that appear good? Are you rejecting new romantic opportunities because you're waiting for the ex that doesn't seem to care about you? It's sort of there's some kind of link to the past, and as I say, this goes on quite a bit. This can be childhood trauma. This can be something that is suppressed within you. Possibly, for some of you, you may have been quite badly hurt or burned or ghosted by a Leo person. This doesn't have to be for everyone. I just see the Strength card crossing you, and I think maybe there was one person in the relationship that got more and the other person that got less. And you may be repeating this pain over and over and over. Now, oftentimes with the law of attraction, people don't understand that, especially I see it in the comments as well, which is one of the reasons I disabled them. Because this is the Six of Cups here, when you meet up with your friends and you talk about your negative past relationships over and over and over, when you dissect them every single day, when you go over it over and over and over, you block this. Okay, you're just going to manifest most of the same. Manifestations come from where your attention is directed, right? So as a fixed sign, you may find that oftentimes, because I think a lot of fixed signs do, you talk about your exes quite a bit. You talk about the past quite a bit. You talk about the nostalgia quite a bit. And solar eclipses are not interested in your past. They're interested in your change. What are you changing? That's your question for January. Introspection is important. Looking inward and finding the answers within yourself. You're not going to find them in anybody else. Crossed by the Tower. You're having some sort of spiritual awakening, Taurus. Now, this can be small. Spiritual awakenings are not necessarily where you go and live in the mountains and you get in touch with nature and that's that. I think a lot of people think it is. You can have little spiritual awakenings day to day in your life, little things. You can notice how you react in situations and think, that's different. That's changed. When did that happen? But the soul-searching part is important. Soul-searching amidst time of calamity is not necessarily so easy. If you've recently come out of a heartbreak, or you are heartbroken, or you are disappointed by a situation, it's not the time to force yourself to have all the answers. Eclipses can also feel that way. You may feel like you are in the midst of some sort of emotional catharsis, of some sort of breakdown, particularly to do with the relationships and love affairs of your life. You may be a little bit nostalgic, and you may be a little bit pensive over past decisions. And you may realize that your decisions were not quite wise in certain cases. It's almost as if a red flag was waved in front of your face and you didn't notice it. You didn't accept a healthy choice. You accepted the one that would leave you in destruction, but you thought it might be better. This is the irony of being on a search for stability. When you feel like you're missing out on something, when you feel like you're missing out on a relationship. Now, bear in mind, Taurus is actually a sign of Venus. And similar to Libra, Venus loves having a partner. But you need that stability rather than that necessarily mental connection. You want the foundation, But at the same point, if you want it too much, you might force it on people that can't give it to you. Although there may be another earth sign coming in that can. Oh, the devil and this combination has come up so much, and I am so intrigued as to what this is in January. And I think the devil really represents the Capricorn energy. I think Capricorn's sort of lost out in getting the devil as a major arcana because everyone's scared of it. Everyone's scared of the devil, but the devil is within you. You're your own adversary. I believe Satan. Is it Satan? Is it Satan or the devil is Hebrew for adversary? I think it's Satan. Anyway, this goes without saying. It's the restrictions that you place upon yourself. What are you trapped to that's unhealthy? There's something very unhealthy about this energy coming into the month, Taurus. You can leave it in 2018, but it doesn't necessarily seem to have been left because you're still hung up on somebody from your past or a heartbreak that happened to you and you still feel bitter. Or, in a lesser sense, you still feel confused, which is fine. But how long are you going to wait for an answer? Tauruses need closure on everything. And you don't always get it. Especially not if you're dealing with an air sign. They don't need closure. They can create closure in their own head. If you're dealing with a Gemini, they could be very career focused. You're trying to hold on to what you have when the universe is trying to say, drop it. Drop it. It's like when a dog holds on to a ball in its mouth and the owner says, drop it, drop it, drop it, and the dog won't drop it. The universe is going to make you drop it. You're holding on to an old connection that's not serving you. You have to let it go. You have to look to the future. Because if you keep looking at the 3 cups that have fallen, you're never going to have the 2 of cups moment. And I say to people, a lot of the time when they talk about the law of attraction, they say, oh, it doesn't work because I tried to manifest this person that I love to come back to me. And the universe would say you're not a vibrational match to this person. That's why they're not there. And you would say, but I love them. And the universe would say, but you asked for somebody who was good to you, and you're trying to manifest this person that was sucky. Or you say, I'm trying to manifest a new loving relationship and one that's not like my ex, but I don't know why I can't get it. And the universe says, because you're thinking about your ex. It's very, I know it's one of those things that fixed signs can feel a bit funny about, but the irony is that Taurus, when you're very set on a goal, as I said, stubborn towards a goal, you're a great manifester. If you're trying to manifest an Aries or Sagittarius in particular, I think you're actually on a bit more of a solid ground than if you're trying to manifest back somebody from the past. You see? Now, judgments followed you around a bit, Taurus. And the reason for that is because the universe is actually giving you signs on something. And you may be choosing to ignore the signs. That's your call. Not recommended. Because the more you ignore them, the more they're going to start slapping you right in the face with signs. Follow the signs. Follow the symbology. Symbolism. I just made a word. I just made up a word. Symbology. Ay. Listen, with Mercury and Capricorn, you're going to be speaking about this a lot better than I have. I'm still getting out of the shadow period of Mercury and Scorpio, and I am so clumsy. I just nearly dropped my microphone. And it's very annoying. I don't like being clumsy. So, the Hierophant is sometimes your energy, but this can also represent taking advice from someone who's very spiritual. Okay? Crossed by the 3 of Pentacles. Surround yourself with people that are doing well. Surround yourself with people that you want to emulate. Maybe even mimic a little bit until you get into their groove. There's people around you that are very spiritually enhanced. That's good. There's people around you that have good answers, have good perspectives on things. They might not say to you what you want to hear, but they'll tell you the truth. King of Pentacles, you in the past. Page of Wands, yeah, it was possibly actually a fire sign that hurt you so badly. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. You need to let this person go. I'm not saying you can't find happiness with another fire sign because there's one down here, but you need to let this immature person go. The Page of Wands is somebody who's very immature, who's very selfish in romantic relationships. Page of Cups, I do think for some of you, there could be meeting of another earth sign this month, particularly Virgo or Capricorn. There is love coming in, but it could be somebody... Ooh, okay. Sagittarius is good. Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the 10 of Wands. Right. Emperor. Okay, so the Emperor's come up quite a bit for everyone too. It's all about establishing new rules. Now, where are your new rules following you, Taurus? It is romantically. So that's where your new rules need to be created. Particularly if you find your relationships, as I say, have been subpar. There is a Knight of Cups coming in. There's romance coming in. Okay, this month there could be an opportunity. However, this comes in with the devil. Don't get too obsessed about something having to work, because it may work to your detriment. You need to be more relaxed about this. The early stages are no point in a relationship to assert a future, because you don't truly know the person. The devil can sometimes mean you get a bit obsessive about the outcome, a bit obsessive about what should be. Not everyone is singing from your hymn sheet, Taurus, but that does not mean they're a bad person. Okay? If you're dealing with the Sagittarius in particular, they're very clever. They're very emotionally clever. They're very emotionally aware. They're very ambitious, and they're very well versed in human nature. They know people. They're emotionally smart. And they may be able to, I'm not saying they will, but they may be able to take advantage if you let them flatter you too much. If you let them appear to be a savior of some sort, if you think they're going to come in and offer you magical emotional healing, you're putting yourself at their mercy. Okay, so don't do that. I do see a new love coming in for you, Taurus, but there's a need not to put yourself at their mercy. As I said, oh no, I just dropped that card. The Ten of Wands has left the building. Okay. Ace of Cups. If you're hoping for someone to fix you emotionally, that person has to be you. I'm sorry, but it does. This here, coming up with Judgment. You need to do the inner work. You need to follow your calling, and you need to be very strict with yourself. Now, please imagine that the Ten of Wands is here. It's gone down the back of the cabinet. You're looking forward past heartbreak. You're realizing that you've been at your own mercy for quite some time, because you've maybe made unappealing choices in terms of romance, or you've maybe given more than one chance to somebody. There's also a possibility here, Taurus, please bear in mind with the devil. As I say, not everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet, but that doesn't mean they're bad. So if somebody, you don't quite get somebody in the early stages, that's what it's all about. If somebody completely sings to you in the early stages and it's incredibly easy to understand them, they may actually just be manipulating you. If somebody does certain things that you don't quite get, but they're still there, you know, it's important to, yes, bear in mind how extreme or how important that stuff is to you, but you might not necessarily have to react with anger. Okay? I think someone's offering you something romantically. I do think there's new romance coming in for many Tauruses. But if there is, please don't associate that person with the past. Please give them a fresh start. This is what solar eclipses are for. And please, I know that everybody loves the well, not everybody, but I know that a lot of people want to know about people from the past. I have to be honest, Taurus, I think there's someone that you actually really need to let go of. Even if it's just an idea about this person. Maybe it's someone that never got off the ground. Maybe it was someone that really hurt you. It may be better to just eclipse it out. You know, draw a line under it. Don't, you know, talk about it and talk about it and talk about it until you find closure, because you're not necessarily going to if you don't have it. The eclipse will give you closure. A change in mindset will give you closure. Much like Geminis, they can give themselves closure in their mind. So can Sagittarius. I see new love coming in here, but I also see there's a need to rewrite the ending a bit. Change the way you're reacting, because there may be some deep hurt that has caused you to become too attached too quickly or too obsessive too quickly. I also think there is a need to, for some of you at least, to have some sort of social media online detox, because there's a lot of internet stalking. I don't know. I'm starting to worry that this is just a message for me that's coming through, because it's come through in every reading. It's like there's somebody watching you online. And obviously when you put up tarot readings, people are going to watch the readings, so that makes sense for me. Unless you're putting up videos too and people are watching those, that could easily apply. But if you're stalking your ex online or something, or you're worried about them stalking yours, there is things you can do about that. The devil always means whatever it is, it's unhealthy. Okay, so your choice of words may be unhealthy. Your self-talk may be unhealthy. It's very important to talk to yourself nicely. That's what actual self-care is. It's not bubble baths and bath bombs and ice cream. That's not what self-care is. Self-care is actually the way you speak to yourself. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. So receive this love that's coming in, but do it gracefully. High Priestess, you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching and bodies of water. Spend some time near the water. Ooh. I like it. There's a lot of water in this, actually. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Temperance. Spend time near the water. That might be where you meet somebody. I'm just going to pick one out of this, actually, because I'm so obliged to. This is perfect. This could not be any better. My capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. Tune into the energy of love, Taurus. Do all things with love. Don't get mad. Don't reminisce on the way things should have turned out. It's time to release something. Time to forgive yourself, forgive somebody else. And if you want to speak to somebody, if you want to tell somebody off, make sure you're at least coming from a place of love and calm. I had a Taurus friend once, and I remember she told me that, I said once, as she's still my friend, but I had a Taurus friend that told me once that when she found out, or she suspected her Sagittarian partner was cheating, she waited for him in the same seat for ages until he got home, and then as soon as he walked in the door, she picked up a shoe and she threw it at his head. She never asked him any questions. I think it turned out to be true. It did turn out to be true, but she did say she was shaking mad and she threw a shoe. I'm recommending you don't throw a shoe, and if you have someone in your life that makes you want to throw shoes, that's not your person. Okay? You need to release the anger that you have for somebody else, because it is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Or if you feel like the universe has been unfair to you in love, be ready for a change, Taurus, because the solar eclipse will allow you to change your energies in that area as long as you're willing to do some of the groundwork. So I love you guys. I will talk to you in the next set of readings. Bye.